Good evening, and welcome to Wailuku Ganji's annual New Year's Eve service. This evening we have friends and members in the temple, a few of them, and we also have members and friends joining us via the Zoom web conference platform. So thank you all for taking time to join us this evening as we bid farewell to the year 2021 and welcome the new year of 2022. With that said, Wailuku Honganji extends our best wishes for a joyful and healthy new year to all of you. I know many of you at the temple have already offered incense. For those of you who have not, you are invited at this time to come up to the incense burners, offer incense, and we won't be collecting or passing around the offertory collection bowls this evening, but if you would like to, we also have the offertory bowls at the altar, and you may make offering at that time. So for those of you at the temple who have not yet offered incense and would like to do so, we invite you to step forward. At this time, I'd like to ask our resident minister and service officiant, the Reverend Shinkan Murakami, to lead us in Bandana and Kisarana. For those in the temple, may I ask that you remain standing to sing the Gatha Namo Amida Butsu, and the words of the Gatha are printed in your program. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to ask those here at the temple and those at home to join us in meditation as we prepare to listen to the words of the Dharma. This evening's New Year message will be delivered by Reverend Murakami.
Amida Buddha is not far from anyone. His land of purity is described as being far away to the west, but it is also within the minds of those who earnestly wish to be with him. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Namanda. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming this evening. Special New Year's Eve and New Year's Day services. Since COVID-19, our lifestyle have changed a lot, and we experienced many difficulties over the past 2 years. On the other hand, we are able to reflect upon our lives and discover many important things that we have received for the past so many years. In the Buddhist teaching, New Year's Eve service is for us to reflect upon by ourselves for the past 365 days. Yes, we all had many kinds of experiences. Indeed, all experiences were so precious, regardless of the outcome. But it was a great lesson for every one of us to move forward in our lives. I truly made our lives, it's truly made our lives very meaningful and precious. One of the wonderful Japanese words, okage-sama de, and this special word is translated as follows: because of your selfless care, I am here as I am. Because of your wonderful support, I am here as I am. So this particular word is truly expressing one's sincere mind of gratitude and appreciation. Our lives are truly connected and interdependent. Somehow, we all are sharing with each other to make our precious life a meaningful one. In the homages, it is said, hard it is to be born into human life. Now we are living in it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear them. If we did not gain emancipation in this present life, we may not be free from ill-faring in the ocean of birth and death for purpose. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures. We all are received this precious life from our parents, grandparents, and so on. If I trace back 10 generations, there will be 1,022 people that were involved for me to be here. 1,022 people. Even if one of them is missing among them, I won't be here today. So I feel whatever I have or whatever we have in our life is truly wonderful and precious. Even if we had a difficult and hard experiences in the year of 2021, we always receive kindness from our family, friends, Sangha, and the people around us. Even if we had a hard time, when we receive smiles, kind words, and actions from others, we are able to recover from the difficult feeling that we are faced. So these kindness are truly making our lives more meaningful. In fact, our old-timers express this wonderful feeling with the beautiful words of okage-sama de arigatai, which means I am truly grateful because of others that are supporting me. Okage-sama de arigatai. Because of all of you are supporting our lives. That is the reason why the old timers, without knowing, the words came out. おかげさまでありがたい. Let me share with you one of our Hongaji members in Japan who was a very devoted and dedicated in his life. And he was a truly living in the life of the members. He was a very ordinary person, but he worked very hard. He really enjoyed his life with a sincere mind of gratitude and appreciation toward people and the things around him. His hobby was writing in his diary, and what he wrote was very simple, but it was very meaningful. Whenever he saw around, whatever he experienced in his daily life, and whatever he heard the words, he just logged in with an honest mind without having his own self-calculation. So whatever he see, whatever he heard, he just logged in. Most of his memo were quite simple, but deeply associated in our daily lives. One of his memos, which he wrote on the rainy day, and it is said, ありがたい。ありがたい。この雨は私の体を洗ってくれる。ありがたい。ありがたい。念仏は私の心を洗ってくれる。ありがたい。ありがたい。何万だ、何万だ、何万だ。The English translation is as follows. Oh, I'm so grateful because this rain is cleaning my body. I'm so grateful because the guidance of the Nembutsu cleaned my evil passion in my heart. I am so grateful. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. It is quite simple expression, but I think it is a really deep meaning for every one of us. However, he filled his life with the guidance of the Nembutsu, with a sincere mind of gratitude, which he encountered in his life, even if it was hard and bitter experiences. He said as follows: all these experiences are precious gift by Amida Buddha for me to see the truth in my life. Us too, because of this COVID-19, it is 2 years we're having a hard time. Yes, we cannot do much things. Even people who want to come to the church, they are not able to come to the church. Even we're having a church services, our leaders worry about the people. If someone become a positive and spread the virus to others, so our leaders carry a heavy and big responsibilities. However, because of people who want to learn, want to hear the guidance, this past 365 days, we all encountered many different kinds of experiences, but we are able to realize that the great guidance of the Nimbus is open our eyes and be able to see the truth. I firmly believe Amida Buddha is always with us and showing us the path of the truth with his infinite light and compassion. While congratulation is only the temple through the statewide having this kind of the evening services. And after the services, we ask the people to hit the temple bell and to remember this is our spiritual home. Unfortunately, this time we are not able to do hitting a temple bell. But I would like you to remember many of our temple members care with each other, really care with each other. And they don't want nobody to become the victim of this COVID-19. As a minister, I've seen the people. Wow. I've seen the great teachers. They are teaching me how to apply to the people, share the guidance, sincere heart. We are able to learn many wonderful things. As I mentioned to you, the guidance of the Jodo Shinshi, most important thing is sincere heart, which is kindness. Amida Buddha is just like a sunlight. The north wind is a self-power. Amida Buddha is other power, which is a sunlight. When you walk in, sun and the north wind, they divided. And I'm wearing a heavy jacket. North wind told the sun, let me try to take draw away the jacket. And north wind give a strong wind. They almost brought the jacket out. But myself, I tried to tight like this, kept my jacket on. The next was sunlight. You're giving a warm feeling of the sunlight. And I start perspiring and getting so hot. And finally, I took the jacket off. Sunlight is just like a kindness, warm feeling of joy and happiness coming into our heart. And without knowing, the action coming out. While the Kongaji member is just like a sun, always giving us their kindness and us to see the reality of the lives. Although COVID-19 making our lives so difficult, but once you come to the temple, we can see people's smiles. We can hear people's wonderful welcoming voice. And we can see their smiles. That's a kindness we are receiving. Joy we are receiving. Let's overcome the difficult path which we are facing. So may we all share our sincere heart with others, just like what we receive from others, and welcome the year of 2022 and follow the wonderful footsteps people who left for every one of us. Amida Buddha is always sending us his spiritual light, infinite light and life into our heart, and showing us the path of the truth. We have so many people behind the scenes for us to making our lives or our function so wonderful. Even the temple, somebody cleaned the temple for us. Right after the services, we're going to have firecrackers, fireworks. The scout people came this afternoon in the rain. They set up everything. That's really wonderful. We don't know who did, but someone did for us to enjoy our lives. So our lives are always relying upon supporting with each other. We support our scout members for them to receive their higher goals of ranking, which is Eagle, but not only for them to receive the Eagle Scouts, we support them to enjoy Scout lives. So our lives are always interdependent. This is a teaching of Namo Amida Butsu. Through these supporting with each other, caring with each other, we are able to see the joy of the happiness. I don't know, year of 2022 will be overcome by this difficult situation. But one I can tell, as long as we walk together, we can see that light. We can see the joy of the happiness. So may let's walk together and see the joy of the happiness together with our wonderful Sangha. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all of you and Happy New Year and the best wishes to all of you. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandaru Namanda. 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 Thank you very much. Namandaru Namanda. Namanda.
Thank you, Reverend, for your message of gratitude, kindness, joy, and interdependence. You have valued the word for all of us to embrace the upcoming year. At this time, may I ask those at the temple to please rise to recite our pledge, which is printed in your program. Let us begin together, reaching out to others.
I will share, smile, and gently, just as a Buddha who always follows with our breaking away from our fear and ignorance. I will try to live in peace and harmony, just like a Buddha who shared tranquility and kindness with all. Living for and self-centeredness, I will share the light of joy and sorrow with others. Realizing that our thousand others, I will strive to live life with an attitude of gratitude, just as I do who embraces us all.
Please remain standing, singing of the Nembutsu.
Nam mô A Di were spread from one to another in succession. So the light of Amida's compassion will pass on from one mind to another endlessly. The followers of the Buddha, realizing his spirit of compassion, adapt his task of enlightenment and purification and pass it on from one generation to another in order to make the Buddha's land glorified eternally and forever. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandam 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 Namandam.
You may be seated. Before we continue with the candlelight ceremony portion of this evening's program, I did want to extend thank you to our office staff, Sharon Higa, Frank Hamasaki, for printing of the program. Mrs. Minai Murakami, thank you for playing the organ this evening. 240 set up the fireworks, as Reverend mentioned, and Eric Uchi will actually be lighting those in a few minutes. And behind the camera, for those on Zoom, Mr. Danny Taub. Thank you, Danny. Each year, for the past several years, we've been having this candlelight ceremony, and it's a time for us to collectively reflect on the past, think about what's ahead in the new year. And if I could ask those in the temple to step forward and keep good spacing between you, but we'd like to pass out a candle to each of you, and we'll have the candles lighted, and we'll have a brief message for reflection. Here comes Donna. So if you come forward, Donna will pass out the candles to you. Just grab a candle and we'll have it lighted in a couple minutes. So as the light of the candle passed around, we'll have each of your candles lighted. And we're almost ready. Before we get started, I just want to give a little bit of background. This candlelight service is an element of our New Year's Eve service that Reverend Murakami instituted several years ago. It is a time, as I mentioned, for collective reflection, a time to think about how we can better extend compassion to others, a time to cherish the gratitude we have come to receive, and a time to embrace teachings of our Shin Buddhist values. So in this context, we ask that those here at the temple, and those at home, close our eyes for a few moments so that we may find tranquility in the midst of Amida. gratefully receive life lessons imparted by the candles we hold. Our candles flicker, a message that life's path is unsteady and imperfect. Our candlelight is vulnerable to the soft evening breeze, a message that life's journey is fragile and impermanent. Our candles illuminate in the most simplest of ways, a message that humility and things ordinary hold value unsurpassed. Collectively, the light in our grasps, like our Dharma teachings, lifts us out of darkness. As we approach the new year of 2022, therefore, let us revere in the beauty of life as it is. Let us find gratitude in the absence of material reward. Let us hold precious our love towards family, friends, and this island we call home. Let us bring compassion to those whose paths may be hindered by uncertainty and suffering. Namo Amitabha. You may extinguish the candles. And if I may ask those at the temple to take your seat for a couple more minutes. Reverend will turn the light on and could take your seat. I'll explain what we would like to do at this time. You know, ordinarily, we would have those in attendance ring the temple bell. However, because we don't have a sufficient amount of mallets, we are not, as mentioned by Reverend, we're not going to have it done that way just because we are trying to minimize common touch points. So this evening, instead, we've asked Brian Hashiro to hold the temple bell on behalf of those temple and those at home. So at this point, and as you hear the tolling of the bell, again, just take time to reflect on the past and look to the future with hope. So Brian, if you don't mind tolling the bell.
20.
Look. Oh, shucks, stick. It just went off. Oh, look. Oh, yeah. I think there might have been 15 people in church. Oh, wow.
We'll be lighting up firecrackers in a minute. So please proceed to the courtyard.
very much. Thank you, Danny. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Thank you very much.
Good year, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.